Welcome back. The Congress party's alleged move to prohibit the publication of this controversial book in India has invited a lot of criticism from both the literati and the opposition. From Booker Prize-winning author Arundhati Roy to BJP spokesperson Ravi Shankar Prasad, the party is drawing flack for its alleged censorship from all quarters. Even within the Congress, there are those who feel that the party should have just kept quiet and this so-called pulp fiction would have sunk without a trace.
All of us need to respect the freedom of expression and press.
But I don't believe in censorship.
Well, nobody really ever associated creativity or freedom of expression with the Congress party.
Javier Moro's book, Sari Rojo, is in the Congress party's censor radar. The English version of the book, on the lives of the Nehru-Gandhi family through the eyes of party President Sonia Gandhi's, will soon be out. But the party appears to be trying its best to stop it. This censorship bid by the Congress has the literati and the opposition up in arms. Prominent writers and opposition leaders are terming this as an attempt at infringing free speech and expression.
But I don't believe in censorship of any kind. I mean, let's take that as a given.
I think the problem with the Congress party at the present is that they are more royalists than the king or the queen herself. Only a little shocked and a little disgusted, if I may say so. I think that Sonia Gandhi doesn't have to fear about a salacious novel, a defamatory novel, or a work of fiction or a biography.
The author of Sari Rojo has himself questioned if freedom of speech and expression truly exists in India.
If they get their way on this, that would be a very sad moment for Indian democracy. I don't believe, India, I know India enough to know that there is freedom of speech and freedom of expression. And to attempt to ban a book that has really nothing defamatory against the Gandhis, it's ridiculous. It's product of their own and sheer arrogance.
But the Congress is doing all it can to browbeat the author with its legal muscle.
We entirely support Mr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi's stand in initiating a legal action, giving notices and asking legal questions on the objectionable portions of the fiction of Javier Moro.
The opposition too is gunning for the Congress party.
It is our duty to respect freedom of press and also freedom of expression.
तो उसको इतना गंभीरता से लेना नहीं चाहिए. इतना बड़ा मीडिया है देश भर में, इतने राइटर हैं, वो क्या लिखते क्या नहीं लिखते, जैसे हम लोगों के बारे में बहुत सी बातें लिख देते हैं.
The opposition party is targeting Congress where it hurts most, as many believe that our ruling party is extremely touchy about personal details of 10 Janpat, and that is why they are attacking at their weakest link. So it seems that the controversy around the book may still continue a little longer. With bureau inputs, Atish Vasav in Delhi for Headlines Today.
Sonia Gandhi's early life before marriage, where she stayed in Italy, what her background was, what did her father do. The Congress party is not very happy with the picture painted of Sonia's early life by this author. And here's why.
She was so pretty that people turned round in the street to look at her. She walked very erect and her straight dark brown hair framed her Madonna-like face. That was when Sonia Mino was 18.
The idea of becoming an Alitalia stewardess, of earning her living traveling around the world, began to seduce her.
She was nice looking and well mannered. All she needed was to perfect her English.
Daddy, I want to go to England to learn English properly.
No way.
Sonia's father, Stefano Mino, was very old-fashioned. The father's side of the family, the Minos, were rough-mannered, honest, direct and very hard-working.
The Minos had no lands, just a few cows and a stone house that Stefano had built himself with his own hands. They were Pizen, as immigrants from the countryside were known insultingly in the north of Italy. a stigma that made them feel less than others and which gave them a complex that would last throughout their lives.
Perhaps a hard, rugged life had made Stefano stubborn, but Sonia was no less. She had made up her mind.
Well, knowing how stubborn her father was, Sonia avoided a confrontation with him. But deep down, she was just as stubborn when she was convinced about what she wanted. It was in her blood.
Sonia won her mother's support and took her first steps to realize her ambition.
On the 7th of January 1965, she said goodbye to her sisters and gave Stalin, the old dog who'd been her playmate throughout her childhood, a big squeeze.
Sonia was excited about traveling alone for the first time and also afraid of the unknown. She was 18 years old and had her whole life ahead of her. A life that she could not have imagined in her wildest dreams. With Kartikeya Sharma in Delhi, Bureau Report, Headlines Today.
Sources in the Congress party say they will take this fight to its finish. The author insists the book will be published. At least he hopes so. We'll keep tracking the story very, very closely. But that's all we have for you in this bulletin. Thank you for watching.